Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Bitcoin. Your daily morning update on Bitcoin right here. We'll do a full update on what's going on right now. I mean, honestly, in terms of structure, right, when we're talking specifically about Bitcoin, not much has changed. I mean, it very much seems like since last week Friday, real PTSD has slipped into the markets. I mean, overall, over the course of the last 3 days, so this week, we did see some moments where we had some elevated volume, but ultimately that volume hasn't led to anything. And I think the last 24 hours, so today so far, but also yesterday was actually very low in volume, and it almost feels a little bit scarce, right? I mean, there's not really a reason to go long on Bitcoin right here. I mean, equities are rallying right now. The fundamentals around the markets are actually pretty good, right? So if you take a look at the S&P 500 pre-market, you can see that recovered very well after a slight pullback yesterday, and that's still, I mean, if you look at the 12-hour time frame, that's still on an uptrend. On the 4-hour time frame, it's not in a downtrend, so that's looking pretty decent as well. Now, the volatility index is still quite elevated. So there is still some unrest in the markets, and ultimately that is also what you can see with gold, right? I mean, gold has gone on a massive run right here. I mean, something like this. I mean, I made some videos back in July on my second channel saying that, oh, I think gold will actually rally higher, but my target was right here at 3,800, and right now at 4,200. So this is also a sign, you know, of investors and also retail. I mean, there's rows in Australia and in Hong Kong that want to buy gold right now. It's a sign of, you know, they want to hedge for something, whatever that is. And then you see Bitcoin not really reacting, and you think, well, why should I buy Bitcoin then? But on the other hand, we are at support. The most assets are rallying. Why would you short Bitcoin, right? I mean, there's also no real sign of any breakdown, because like I said at the start of the video, we are very much holding the structure, right? When we're talking about Bitcoin specifically right here, ever since Friday, we have formed some sort of a structure right here between 110,000, and maybe you could stretch that down to 109,600, but that's the main support level. And then we have the main resistance level right here at 113.6. Maybe you could stretch that up to 114,000. And that's the area where we have spent most of the price action and most of the time and most of the volume since Friday. And ultimately, we're waiting for a break out of that level. And until we have seen a break out of that level, I'm going to assume that we're going to be relatively stable and that we're going to be relatively neutral. Now, what I told you yesterday morning, and I still do think that, is the way I look at this, right? So gold rallying like this, but also the S&P recovering like this, I see that as something bullish, all right? If we take a look at the majority of 2025, well, no, that's not actually true. But if we take a look at a lot of the times where gold was rallying a lot, that was actually bearish for Bitcoin, right? So if you take a look at the early 2025, a strong gold actually meant that Bitcoin was relatively weak. So gold rallying here and Bitcoin not being weak, in a sense, you could argue is a good thing. Although people that call Bitcoin a digital gold are obviously wrong at this point of time, right? I mean, that could change, but at this point of time, they're wrong. And ultimately, the S&P 500 is recovering, but the S&P 500 has also taken Bitcoin up very often in the past as well. For example, in July, but also in August right here, and also, of course, in April. So this rallying, and especially also the Russell 2000 being relatively strong. Like if you take a look at the Russell 2000, all the times that was relatively strong, like the last time was August, it also pushed Bitcoin up with it. So it's normal after an event like last week, Friday, that the market is a little bit, you know, that there's some PTSD in the markets. But I still think fundamentally it is more likely that we will see a bullish breakout. Now, in the end, to summarize, I would still wait for that confirmation, right? So we are consolidating right now, wait for the breakout, but I know a lot of people watching want to have some sort of a directional prediction from me, and that would be a bullish breakout because of the fundamentals. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know for now. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next videos, and take care. It's still tough trading out there. Bye.